to your spirit guides and loved ones on the other side. People always ask me why I don't call myself a psychic. Really, it comes down to I hate that name. I hate that term. I think there's too much negative connotation with it. So I call myself a channeler. And really, that's what I do. I channel messages from your spirit guides and
Okay.
loved ones that have crossed over already. Gone home. That's home, by the way. Home is the other side. We come to visit here. We live over there. Spirit guides, what are they? They are souls. We are a soul. Our soul embodies our bodies embodies our soul. So when we take our last breath on Earth, our soul returns to the other side. We have a spirit family on the other side, and members of that spirit families agreed to be your guide while you're here on Earth to try to give you guidance. 99.9% of the times we don't listen because we get that, you get that intuition. You're hanging out with your buddies and you get that, I know I shouldn't do this. This is not going to turn out good. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones. This isn't going to turn out good. But screw it, let's do it anyways. And then afterwards you're like, I knew we shouldn't have done that. I told you we shouldn't have done that. That's usually your spirit guides trying to guide you. In any given chapter of your life, you can have 3 to 5 guides. Really depends what's happening in your life. Having 5 doesn't mean you're a more special soul than someone that has 3 in this chapter. And having 3 doesn't mean you're less special. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kevali Channeling Presents for September the 5th. September, does that mean summer's over? Because if you live in my part of the world, it's been a little on the chillier side. It's not been shorts weather. I actually had to put jeans on for the first time in forever, it seems like. So I think summer is slowly fading away. I'm hoping it comes back. This evening, we have a very special guest, a repeat guest. I always like repeat guest. It means I did something right the first time and they agreed to come back. Or in Julie's case, she was just voluntold and I said, oh, by the way, and that's actually how it happened. You can ask her. So without further ado, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click the magic button. And if the magic button works, she should pop up. There she is.
Hello.
How are you, young lady?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am very, very good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for taking time to join us tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So, not everybody saw our episode last time you were on, which I can't even remember when it was. It was
over a year ago.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be. And this one, I was trying to message her, but apparently she doesn't look at her messages every 30 seconds like I do.
When I'm cooking dinner, I don't.
And so she didn't answer. So I said, okay, well, you didn't answer. So I'm putting you in for September 5th. Hope that works. And of course, she was so gracious enough that here she is.
Here I am.
Here you are. You've been voluntold.
Yep.
That's awesome. Awesome. So for the people who weren't here last year, that sounds funny when I say that. Tell us who Julie is and what Julie does.
Who I am and what I do. Well, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. No.
Welcome to the weirdo hood.
No, I am a Reiki practitioner and Akashic Records reader and spirit guide channeler. That is what I
That's
do.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I also make a line of natural wellness products. So, I mean, I kind of try to just sort of replace things that you would buy at big box stores with a natural alternative. So not necessarily, like we don't need to use all of that junk. We can use some of it, but if we can replace some stuff with more natural solutions, then I think we should try.
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And you do a lot of different stuff, like you do lotions, you do sprays.
Yeah, I have a bit of like I mean, it's kind of, yeah, there's a bit of a gamut, I guess. So I've got like the wellness stuff. So I've got stuff for sore muscles and cuts and scrapes. So like, the A535 replacements and polysporin replacements, stuff like that. And then I have like some more sort of metaphysical items. So I've got like clearing spray, aura spray, some chakra stuff, and I'm getting into herbal tea making. So
Nice.
mhm.
Getting in. You've been doing teas for a while, have you not?
No, I've only been doing teas for like 6 months.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. For some reason, I had in my head that you had been doing teas for a long time.
No,
Doing
well,
teas.
I mean, I was probably doing them in past lives, so
And thus, people, this is why when you look at the description this week, it says Julie, the spiritual. Oh, she disappeared. She's come back. Here we go.
sorry, I don't know what's happening.
I'm going to do a clearing because I have a feeling there's something happening there. Oh, all the hair in my arm just stood up on end. I refer to Julie as the spiritual scientist because she comes up with all kinds of cool concoctions. And if you were looking for a clearing spray, I have tried a couple different ones and haven't been really happy with any of them, to be honest, because I'm very sensitive to smell and scents. But we were oh, I can't say where we were. We were
No,
at a function at a expo somewhere, and there was a lot of negative, a
there was a
lot of
lot.
negative energy there. So I needed something in my booth to clear because I was just getting distortion. And so I went over to Julie's booth, and it jumped into my hand. It literally like it was like a beacon. So I grabbed it. Wow, what a difference it makes! What do you
That
call
was
what
that's
was the
the
name of
aura
that?
spray that you have. The aura spray.
The Aura Spray, that's
Yeah.
it, yes. I've
So
got it
it
in
kind of gives you a little bit of a boost, and it sort of gives you a bit of a shield to sort of buffer the other junk that,
society puts out there,
yeah,
we'll say. We're
yeah,
being politically correct today.
yeah.
That's funny. Um, so I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna, go back through your journey because I always love to hear people's journey of how they got to where they are. Did you when you started your spiritual journey later in life compared
Yeah,
to a child, I'll
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
How old were you when you realized there's something here that I'm not understanding completely?
Um, like, well, I don't know. I mean, there was like when I was in college and stuff, when you're in college, you experiment with different things. And I was always drawn to like witchcraft and stuff like that, but it never really pinged with me. You know what I mean? Like it
Yep.
was just there was always something on in my peripheral vision, but I don't think I really connected with anything I was supposed to connect with until probably like I don't know, it was like 2013 maybe.
Oh, okay. So you haven't been it's not been that long.
No, no, no. Um, and it was super weird because um, a friend of mine she was on maternity leave, and she had been taking Reiki classes, and I didn't know this. And she messaged me one day and she's like, "Hey, so I need to practice Reiki. Do you want to come over and be um, a dummy for me?" And I was like, or like a practice dummy,
A guinea pig.
a practice person for me. And I'm like, okay, but I have literally no idea what this is. Like, I don't know, but you're my friend, so I'm going to support you. And
And I'll just do it because you're kind of weird, but we'll go with it anyway.
and so at that time, I was in the middle of a dog training apprenticeship program, and I was very like scientifically minded. like everything was cause and effect, right? Like there
Oh,
is,
okay.
and so I wasn't really thinking in the spiritual realm at all. You know what I mean? Like, though there's connections there, but at
Yeah,
that time it was like science and woo don't like, they're not
they're a separation.
they're not the same thing. Um, so she kind of explained it to me, but didn't really explain it to me that well. And I was like, okay, well, so what do you need me to do? And she's like, I just need you to lay on my massage table.
Oh, we lost her again. There she is.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep going.
So you were laying on her massage table.
Yeah, she just told me, you just need wear something comfortable, dress in your yoga pants or whatever, and I
Yeah.
just need you to lay on my massage table. I'm gonna give you this energy treatment, and then you can let me know how you feel. And so I was like, cool, okay, whatever, I'll do this. And so I went over there. She did a Reiki session on me, and I mean, it was nice and comfortable, and I was relaxed, and it was, all right. And I had been
Hmm.
doing so much studying that I had really started clenching my jaw in my sleep really bad.
Oh, right.
Um,
Okay.
and later I will learn that, that kind of third eye and crown activity, studying and bringing in information causes a lot of tension and you have to release it. But I was clenching my jaw instead. Anyway, so I had the most amazing sleep for like 3 nights in a row. Didn't clench my jaw once, and I was like, "Holy cow! If that is the only thing I get out of this, I'm
Bonus.
sold." That
Like
that's
something
all I
worked.
need, right? It was great. So she practiced on me a few more times, and then we had some weird things happen in a couple of our sessions, and I was like, "Whoa, like this is trippy." And then
What's
next thing you
going
know, I'm
on?
taking classes. And that's what happened, literally. Like it wasn't, there was no big aha moment, or I didn't have any like existential crisis or anything. Everything just kind of,
And I think that's important. And my guides were like, jump in because that's really important what you just said. There was no crisis, there was no huge trauma that caused you or I to go, oh, we need spirituality. Give me, give me. Mine was, it happened by accident,
yeah,
literally. Um, you know my story. I took these courses because Ellison forced me to. That's my
good job,
story.
Allison.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I mean, middle of COVID, and she said, let's take that there. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't know. And she goes, what else are we going to do? And I was like, nothing.
Yeah,
Okay. So, I mean, that was that one. And then, of course, the rest of them I jumped on quickly. But you don't have to have
no,
that, oh my God moment to jump in like we did.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you took your first courses were um, Reiki.
Yeah, so that's where I started. And I was pretty happy there for quite a while. Like I took my level 1, then I took my level 2, and then I took my master teacher because all of a sudden one day I woke up and I was like, maybe I want to teach. So I took it. I don't know. Um, and it was almost a year to the day from my level 2 to my master. So it was divine timing, I guess you could
Yeah,
say, right? Like that's just,
exactly.
yeah. Um, and then I was fine with that for a while. And then I don't even know. I was looking for something else. Like I just wanted to add something, get a little bit deeper. So
Yeah.
um I took my violet flame Reiki, which is really cool. Um that was like a whole nother set of like Reiki attunements and stuff.
Okay.
Um it's a it's hard to explain, but like Yusui Reiki and the Violet Flame, they kind of complement. Like one feels almost like more masculine, and one feels almost more feminine in a
See,
way.
I've
To
had
make
people try to
yeah,
explain this to me before, and it's just one of those. I think you have to take it to
you
understand.
have to take it and experience.
Oh, there she goes again. This is so bizarre.
At least I'm coming back really fast, though.
You are, but I've never had this
I
happen.
don't
Like
know. I have no
in the
idea.
3 years that I've been doing a show, I've had people like vanish, get like their internet shuts down, or I freeze. But
I
I've
don't
never
know.
had anybody just pop back into my
I
waiting
don't
room.
even know. Maybe it might be the browser too. I have no idea.
No idea. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's continue because you're
Anyway,
coming right back. So
yeah, I'm coming right back, so it's okay.
it adds excitement.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so you kind of have to experience them, I think, to sort of understand, maybe. I don't know. Um, but that wasn't really it. Like that's not what I was looking for. Hey Brienne, I can see comments.
Oh, I was like, who are you talking to? I haven't got my comments up. Hey, Brianne.
Um, so yeah, I was looking for something else, and then I kind of got into the channeling, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is super cool. Like this is what I was looking for.
Now,
This is
did you take your channeling through Ken?
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Nice. Now, did you go all the way? Did you take 1 to 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Very,
Yeah.
and I know
And I
that's
feel
how
like
we
I
met
think that's
through Ken,
yeah, we did. Yeah.
but not at a course. We met at a function,
At an
at an
event.
expo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Continue.
Yeah, so that was kind of for me like a missing piece. Um, but I think I had to do the Reiki and have those experiences before I got into the channeling.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it was I don't know. I have my suspicions, but uh my dad dropped a couple of bombshells on me a few years ago, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, that's really weird."
Should we go deeper in that or leave that alone?
Yeah. No, no, nothing weird. It was just so we grew up in a religious family.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
part of my family was religious. Mine necessarily wasn't, but like my great grandmother took care of us a lot. So we were really involved in the religious part of the family.
What type of religion, if you don't mind me asking?
Protestant?
Oh, okay. So like Christianity.
Christian, yeah, Christian.
Mm.
So after I got my channeling certificates and I started like talking about it publicly and openly, um, because I find myself saying this to people a lot, and I'm going to say it on here live, like because it is safe for us to talk about this now.
Oh my goodness, yes. Because it wasn't before.
It wasn't at all, and this is part of the story, I think. So I started talking about this on my social media, and I started being really open about what I do. And my dad came for a visit, and he's like, "So tell me more about this. Like, what is this channeling stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I focus on connecting people with their spirit guides because we all have spirit guides. Other people focus on different things like mediumship and stuff like that. But it really like that's the part of it I like to do, right? But
Yes.
he's like, so how do you learn how to do it? And he's asking those kinds of questions, and I'm like, well, everybody can do it, Dad. Like it's something that we can all do. We just have to learn to trust ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
Can you
then
say
so
that again? Go back and say that keyword.
we
Everybody.
just has to learn we just have to learn to trust ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you know what? That's the key ingredient in
yeah,
anything we do.
yeah.
Trust in not in your teacher, not in your someone across the room from you, in yourself.
In yourself.
Carry
Yeah,
on.
for
Sorry.
sure. Yeah. Um, so then he tells me, well, your great grandmother and your great great grandmother used to do this.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I was like, they're dead now, so I can't ask them. I'm like, yes, well, I can ask them,
Well,
but
I was going to say, yeah, you can.
I can. And I did. But
So weird.
I don't know. I haven't been on my computer in a week, so maybe it's my computer. I don't know. So yeah, so he was telling me that they used to do, my great grandma, she just knew things. You could tell just by looking at her. She was just one of those old ladies. I would classify her today as like a wise woman.
Yes.
She just knew things. And her mom, I don't remember her. Like I don't actually remember her, but she used to read tea leaves
Oh,
for people.
interesting.
And I was like, this is super weird. Like this is like
And you didn't know this before you
I had
took all these
no
courses?
idea because the church got wind of it and told them to shut it down. Like you can't do this. So they
Yes.
stopped doing it.
Evil.
Right.
Evil.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't grow up knowing that.
Wow, that's very cool that
Yeah, it's really, really interesting.
yeah.
So the channeling stuff for me really like that was like, it just everything kind of clicked
Well, yeah.
together for me when I started doing that.
Well, it's funny because I always tell people who are I get lots of people who come to me as clients and say, "Well, I know I'm supposed to be doing something in the energy or the spiritual community. I just don't know what." I am constantly telling people channeling is the basis of everything. If you take a channeling course of any kind, then you can go and do whatever because you'll understand it better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So do you find channeling helped you with your Reiki?
Um, I think on a personal level, um, yes, in a way, because I understand. So, a lot of people, when they get attuned to Reiki, like it opens you up more, right? The more you
Yes.
practice it, the more open you become. And sometimes you start experiencing things, hearing things, feeling things that's not that's not Reiki, but it happens to a lot of people because you're
Yes.
becoming more of an open channel, right? Um,
Well,
so I
when you
think for me, it helped me learn to sort out the stuff I was getting.
yes, because when you're doing Reiki, you're doing a form of channeling because you're
You're
using
channeling
energy,
energy. Yeah. Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
you're
Yeah.
literally channeling. It's funny because I went to a Ellison and I, we went to a tarot card reader. We were at a expo in Calgary, and it was really funny because we walked around the room and we were kind of checking it out first because, and to be honest, it was I wanted to check it out to see if I wanted to become part of that expo.
Right. Yeah.
And we're like, oh, maybe we'll get a reading if it comes to if something happens, and we both were literally attracted to this one lady. So we walked over and she gave us a beautiful reading. Like the cards were, she was so accurate. And I went, wow, your channeling is amazing. And she looked at me with literally deadpan face and says, I don't channel. Where do you think you're getting your
Yes, you
messages
do.
from? You're just using tarot cards as a tool, but
Yeah.
you're literally channeling those messages.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. It is totally 100%.
We have a question. This doesn't happen very often. You're popular.
Sue, yeah, Sue has a great question.
Yes. Do the two of you get blocked when your brain is all over with life? Hell yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, for myself, I if I have a lot going on, I will get somebody else to work on me
Yes.
personally. I don't hardly like if I'm like stressy, messy, and
Hooah! And then she leaves. And then she comes back just as she says, Hooah!
yes, I will get somebody else to go in and look at me because I feel like it's a lot easier for them to be removed from the situation. I'm right in the middle of whatever my junk is, right?
Yes.
Um, but if I have a lot going on in my life because I'm a busy person anyway, so I'm good at compartmentalizing. I can
Yeah.
do a reading for people usually pretty okay. I can do
Yes.
readings at events when there's lots of stuff going on. because I can just compartmentalize it. But for myself, I always get somebody else to work on me.
And it's just like a physician.
Yeah.
Surgeon isn't going to operate on themselves.
No.
They're
Yeah.
going to have someone, even if it's just like on their arm. They're going to have somebody else do it. Um, and I'm a big believer in, if you're going to see someone, whether it be a psychic, a medium, someone who talks to spirit guides, or even a Reiki practitioner, and you ask, I tell my clients to ask, where do you go for your work? Where do you go for your healing? Because if they're not, move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we doing what we do need it probably more than others,
Yeah. And we need
right?
an objective opinion or that objective feedback.
Yes,
You know what I mean? I
exactly.
think it's totally, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I needed to hear that. That's funny. Uh,
Uh-uh.
I've been putting off going. Um, Kim Wilkinson.
Yes.
She does quantum hypnosis,
Ooh.
and she's been wanting me to go and do her quantum hypnosis. And like everything else, life is busy. I
Yeah.
always have excuses. And my guides are like, "Are you listening?" Just as you said that, my guide said, "Are you listening?" And I was like, "How?" Touche.
Burn.
Exactly. Um, so in a given session that you do now, um, do you do a lot of channeling while you're doing Reiki, or is it straight Reiki?
Well, so the way I've set up my sessions is that like I have an option if people just want to come over and have a Reiki session, they can come over and have a Reiki session. That is because I think it's very beneficial. It's very relaxing. It's amazing for your nervous system, like just to shut your stuff off, come in, lay down, and have that time for yourself. Like that is
Yeah.
so good for your nervous system that not enough people do it. But
Yes.
most of the time, I actually combine Akashic Records and Reiki together.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. You took your Akashic record training as
Yes, I
well.
took my Akashic Records. Yeah.
Right. So you can, and for folks who are listening or watching and don't understand what Akashic records are, because we throw around these terms like, yeah, Akashic records and spirit guides, blah, blah. And people are going, what the fudge are they talking about? Akashic records is.
Like the storage cloud.
Mm,
I think
mm,
that's probably the easiest way to, because
yes,
we all have these, everything goes into the cloud, right?
yes,
Um, so it is kind of the universal storage cloud. Everything that's ever happened, every thought, every emotion, every feeling, everything is all recorded up there in the cloud. We all have our own little section in
yes,
there. So like our own little library
yeah.
almost. Um, People, each practitioner kind of sees it differently, but I do see it kind of as a bit of a library for the
Do
most
you?
part. Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's what I just took Akashic Records 1, and that's how I saw it. I literally saw like big tall
Yeah.
shelves.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and I
I
think
think
you're
generally
right.
speaking, most people see it that way, but yeah, it's some form of library,
Right.
basically.
And we click over here again. I don't know what's causing it. It's so weird. It's
I
so
don't know.
weird. But I
Whatever.
like it. So the Akashic Records, it keeps track of every lifetime you've ever lived, every
For
thought,
your
every
soul.
emotion,
So
every
it's
action.
every experience that your soul has
Yeah.
had. So it's all recorded there. Every past life that you've had, everything that's ever happened to you, every thought, every emotion, everything is recorded there. So a lot of times if we have like patterns that we don't like in current life, we can go back into the Akashic records and poke around and find out maybe where that originated. um,
Oh,
I'll use bad relationships as an example because it's really easy to explain that way. So say you find yourself always in a cycle of poor relationships.
yeah.
Maybe not necessarily romantic relationships, but just relationships with
Relationships, period.
or a specific person or whatever. You find yourself in this cycle. We can go in and we can find out where that started. Did it start with that specific person at another incarnation, in another lifetime? Or did you have a really strong emotion at one point in time that made you like, I will never love again? Something so tragic happened and
Yeah.
you were just like, that's it. I'm not doing this again. So we can go back, we can clear that, we can clean it up, we can kind of get rid of it. Sometimes we can rewrite the story a little bit.
Yes.
What
And
else can we do?
I'll give people an example of how it actually works, because I've always had a horrible fear of mice. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I would see it. My heart would go like 300 miles an hour, and it would. I went and I did a past life regression with somebody, and they found a life where I was actually in a dungeon being held captive, and the mice were eating me. Right. So
Yeah.
they cleared, obviously they can't get rid of that life. That life had already happened, but
Yeah.
they cleared the emotion
That
around
was
that life.
attached to it. Yeah.
About 2 weeks later, I see a mouse run across our deck. My first reaction was to panic, and then I went,
Wait a
nothing.
second. Yeah.
And people like, oh, that's just a placebo effect. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like,
No.
I know that mouse
Yeah.
is only that big and it can't hurt me. I have tried everything, and I have
Yeah.
literally tried everything, and nothing worked until I had that done.
I had the same thing with spiders. Exactly the same thing. Like my stomach would fall to my knees and I would get cold on the inside. Like visceral reaction to a stupid little spider.
That you know can't hurt you.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. And I had it cleared. And I mean, I still think they're gross. Like they're not.
Yes. I wouldn't
I
have a
don't want
pet
to be
mouse.
friends.
People do that. People have pet mice. I'm like, no, they have pet spiders. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't want to burn my house down when there's one inside it now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. And
yeah,
people do. People are like, I'm going to burn my house down. Oh, don't
yeah,
do that. Go get some
yeah,
help.
yeah,
There's help out
yeah,
there.
totally. So yeah, you and maybe there's a specific person that you're struggling with. There could be contracts that you had in past lives with that person, or some kind of tether or whatever.
Yes.
We can go in and clear all that stuff. So usually what I do, I'll go on Zoom. I start my session with you. We're having a conversation. I'm asking you how your day is going and what you want to work on. And while we're having that convo, I'm sending you distance Reiki and I'm clearing you. 9 times out of 10, the chakras that are a little wonky correlate to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll get ideas of how we can work on something. And then whatever your topic is, whatever it is that you want to work on,
And there she goes again.
yeah. So I'll go into your Akashic records and we'll dig it up and we'll find out what the issue is and work on that. And
Very
because
cool.
we're already connected, if you need more energy, I'll send you more Reiki at the same time and we'll do clearings. And yeah.
So you answered another question. I see you behind you. I believe that is a massage table behind you there. Is it not?
Yes. Yeah.
So you do in person, but you
I will, yeah.
also can do Zoom.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people, you can do this over Zoom, and I'm like, yeah, of course. I
Usually
mean,
it's like the same idea. Like I can send you a text message or we can email, right? Like it works the
yeah,
same way, like as calling somebody on the phone.
it's exact. I mean, I could do a reading over the phone if I had
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's not like I need to see you. I like seeing people because I think it's more personable, but I
Yeah.
don't need to.
No.
Do you prefer in person, or which one do you like doing better?
You know what? I like them both.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, if we're doing Reiki and Akashic records, if we're doing that kind of session, Zoom is perfectly fine with me
Yeah.
because we don't actually, like, you can wear your pajamas. You don't have to go anywhere.
Exactly. And you know what? I mean, because when I first started this, it was COVID. We weren't
Yeah.
allowed to get
Yeah.
together. So all
Yeah.
my readings are online. And because of
Yeah.
it, I can now call myself an international medium because I literally have clients in the US. I have clients in Bali,
It
Australia.
opens up so much.
It does.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sorry, for people who don't know what I do when I do that, and it looks like I'm just trying to slow my energy down. I am doing that as well, but I'm actually, when I do these, I actually channel. So right now, I'm actually channeling not only my guides, but I'm channeling Julie's guides as well to see where we should go and how the conversation should go, because they know what needs to be said better than what we would ever know. So
And we
if you
don't have
see
to
me.
script it.
And people are always like, well, you must do a lot of research on, like, if you have a different guest on every week, you have to do a lot of research. And I was like,
No.
I do zero research.
Yeah.
I have strangers, like I know you and I
Mhm.
know Alana, who I've had on, and of course Ken, but I've had people I've never met before. And it's just a natural flow because I'm channeling, and
Yeah.
they kind of direct me in what questions to ask. They don't really give me the questions. They direct me they kind of keep me
Nudge.
directed.
Yeah.
Yeah, go that way.
Yeah.
Go that
Yeah.
way. Let's talk about the different products that you've let's talk about the different products you have come up with. And I want you to tell the story. Speaking, it's a perfect segue. Speaking of taking advice and nudges from spirit
Why you
guides.
should always listen to your spirit guides.
Yes.
When they're throwing stuff in your face. Because we're human and we have free will and we can do whatever we want.
Yes.
Including not listen.
Because that's what we do best.
Yeah. So yeah, I had this product. It's actually a hormonal balance product, like a hot flash spray. It helps with hormone balancing, and it helps cool. And it was an okay product. Like it was all right. Like it was doing okay, but it wasn't like a hot commodity or anything.
It wasn't your best seller by any stretch.
No. And it's kind of like, I mean, it's a bit to put together.
Okay. She'll be back.
I'm back.
You're back. So it was a bit to put together.
It's a bit of a process. Like it's probably got the most ingredients out of all of my products. So it's a time consuming. And so governing organization, I don't think I can say it out loud, released some information regarding one of the ingredients that I have in it, eucalyptus. So if you have a non-solid product that contains eucalyptus that goes on the skin, it has to have a warning on it because it's a hot oil. Basically, right. It can cause sensitivity, and there's rules about how much it has to be diluted and stuff like that. And my dilution ratios are really like they're minimum, because I know that you only need the bare minimum to get what you need from the ingredient. But anyway,
right.
So they came out with this thing, and so if you're going to put it on a product, you had to have a disclaimer. And I was like, ugh, I got to fit a disclaimer on my friggin' label now. And I was so mad. Like, I was just like, and I'm a Taurus and I'm so stubborn, and I just.
Screw the man.
Yes.
And that's how you told me the story.
Yes.
Screw the man.
I was furious at the man. Like, I was just like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to do it. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to do this product anymore. I'm going to take it off the shelves because I don't like being told what to do. This is basically what it all boiled down to. And I had somebody asking me for it. because I have some of my products in a small store in Lake Bonavista. And the owner kept asking me for it. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I might take it off. I just don't know. Like, I'm really on the fence about it. And she kept asking. I kept getting nudges that I should just do it, And I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to conform. I don't want to follow the rules.
Not do it. You can't make me.
Yeah, totally pull a fit. Finally, I made it for her, and I made a batch to put in the store, and I kept some back for myself. And I'm not even kidding you. It's been my bestseller since I brought it back out. And I'm just like, what is happening right now?
I just love it. I love that story because guides, you got to understand, your spirit guides are souls. They're part of your spirit family on the other side.
Yeah.
So they see the big picture. They get it all. So when they try to give us advice, because they'll never tell you have to do it this way. That's not the way it works. But when they try to give us advice, so many times we're like, well, that's just dumb. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it was so really subtle, right? Like, it was just like, I kept getting just a little push. Like, hey, you should do this. And I'm just like, no.
So I take now you make this product all the time.
Yeah.
And what's this product called?
It's called Hot Mess.
That's a perfect name.
It's so perfect.
For more than one reason. Just
Totally,
a hot mess.
Yeah.
Now you were talking, and it kind of lit a light bulb in my head about you've got products that would replace like the Absorbine Junior or the A535 rubs. What is that?
So and everything's on the other side of the room, so I'm not going to get samples. Course. But so I have an arnica salve. So arnica is a flower that grows wild here and all over Europe. Okay. And it has a lot of really valuable medicinal properties.
A lot of medicinal valuable properties.
Yep. So one of the really, for arnica, it is really good for bruising. What it does is it prevents fluid from pooling.
Oh, okay. Which is what a bruise is.
So it helps kind of disperse that. Like if you had a bruise, it'll help disperse the.
Oh, very cool.
The pooling fluid.
Right.
So it's renowned for bruising. It's good for sore muscles, overexertion. So like.
Okay, so Ellison, you're listening. We're about to go to Europe, and we're going to end up doing a whole lot of walking.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We need this product.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
And then I've added eucalyptus, marjoram, and lemongrass essential oils to that one. So that's going to help with tendons and ligaments too. So
nice.
It's kind of your all-encompassing sore muscle rub. I find it most effective, like if you've like out in the garden or you've done a workout or whatever, have a hot shower. Whatever. But if you overexerted yourself, have a hot shower and then put it on where you know you're going to be sore.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And Sue, yes, swelling too. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
This must be a popular one for you.
It is actually, yeah, it is my most popular almost. I find a lot of people from like Central America are very, they know about arnica. And so it's like a familiarity to them when they see it at my table. North Americans don't really know, but once I explain.
North America, we're so far behind in every part of medicine. It's not funny. And I think the biggest reason being is pharmacare kind of took it over.
Yeah. And I mean, all of the people who knew about all of the herbs were burnt at the stake. So,
that's probably true, eh? Because I mean, you go back, they didn't do that in Europe. They didn't do that in Central America.
So anyway, That is for sore muscles. And then I have kind of a polysporin replacement, so for cuts and scrapes.
Oh, okay.
Skin irritations, rashes, hives, anything like that. That is a herbal infusion with yarrow, which is really, it's good to help stop bleeding. I'm not a doctor, medical disclaimer.
Sue's asking the name of the product that helps swelling is
Arnica salve.
And you just call it arnica salve.
That's what I call it. Yes, because
Wow,
the
that took a
overarching.
lot of thought to put that one together, wasn't
Here's
it?
the thing. The government doesn't let me make medical claims.
Oh, of course.
Yes. So this is probably why we keep cutting out.
It's the government. Because I am
no,
so
so
important
yes.
that Kevali Channeling presents. The government is watching.
Yeah, they are. No, so I can't make medical claims. But yeah, so I have to be really, my labeling has to be so like generic.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
It's arnica. It's arnica in there. So I'm just like, well, let's just call it arnica salve because.
And when you say people outside of North America or people who are into herbal medicine know what arnica is, so automatically they'll know. They'll see it and go, oh, I know what that is. Yeah. Right? That was my phone falling. You also, now you say you're getting into more teas, and your teas are not just like green teas. Your teas are...
So they're herbal. They're technically tisanes, so they're not a tea. There's no...
Should I just leave her in the penalty box?
No.
No.
It's not my fault. Oh, my cousin Stephanie's on here too. So funny story, Stephanie
Lynn.
Stephanie Lynn is my cousin. Okay. And I have another cousin. Her name is Rachel, and we have the great great grandmother that was the tea leaf reader, same side of the family. Yeah, Stephanie, if you didn't know, Granny Jones was a tea leaf reader. Anyway, so oddly enough, we all three of us live in different parts of the country. We don't talk often. We do now because of Facebook, but like before Facebook, we didn't really talk that often. All three of us basically do the exact same thing.
Get out.
Yep, for real.
See, this is when I go, like people say, oh, when you talk about the universe makes things happen, that's all poppycock. And I'm like, you can't understand. Like so many things had to happen for all three of you to be doing the same damn stuff that this is so interesting how many times you're getting kicked out. Okay, people who are energy healers or deal in energy, I want you to type into the chat, do you think it's an energy thing or do you think it's a technical thing?
I have no idea. I'm
getting it's an energy thing.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why though. Like we're not talking about bad stuff yet.
But the thing is that it's just energy, right? And I think I feel like there's just interference.
And mine and your energy connected really quick from the first time we met. Yeah, we really connected in a cool kind of way. Yeah, everybody's saying energy too. That's funny.
So I'll give you my website at the end when we're wrapping up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing. I missed that. Yeah. So people can order online.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Cool. Yes. Yeah.
Teas.
Yes. Okay. So I don't put any actual tea. So it's technically a tisane. It's just a herbal, just herbs. Okay. So there's no caffeine in them at all. You can drink them any time of the day that you want. It's not going to interrupt you that way. I'm choosing very mindfully what I'm putting together, I guess you can say. So I have one that supports the nervous system because we are so frazzled and our nervous systems are just shot.
Yes.
Especially after the pandemic and everything that's happening, like the recession and stuff like that. Like everybody's nervous systems are just totally shot. And we are constantly in that state of fight or flight.
Yes.
So we need to get into the rest and digest a little bit.
Oh, nice. I like the way you said that.
Yeah, so I have a tea specifically for that. It's called Cool and Collected. Everything in that tea is to help you just cool down and calm down almost. Yeah. The base herb in that is lemon balm, which is really, really nourishing for the nervous system. And then it has chamomile, which is really calming and relaxing. It has some passion flower in it. It has a little bit of rose in it. And then it has peppermint and spearmint in it. So it's nice. It's a nice minty flavored tea. But also when you're always in fight or flight, you probably have digestive issues.
Yes. Nice.
So the peppermint, spearmint, and the chamomile are going to help your tummy as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that one, you can drink it all day long. I like drinking it in the evening because it's nice.
Because it just brings
nice
you down.
Tea. Yeah. And then I have a more like
bum 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 bum. Click a magic button.
We'll get there.
That's awesome.
Yes. Okay. So, and then my other one is called the Muse. It is more of a mindfulness blend. So if you're into meditation or if you're getting into meditation, or you just like that, like it's just brings the awareness back to yourself, I guess you could say. It's got, what's in it? Gotu kola, stinging nettle. Stinging nettle is really nourishing too.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's got so much nutrients in it. It is so good for you. I mean, it tastes green, so you got to mix other things with it that taste less green. So this one has raspberry leaf in it, which is it's so nice. It's just beautiful tasting. Alana thinks that if you add lavender to it, it's even better. Which I agree, but I didn't package it with lavender because a lot of people don't like lavender. So I tell people if you have lavender and you like it, feel free to add it, but you don't.
My doctor told me about something to do with lavender when I first caught COVID and I was coughing like constantly back then. And there was something about lavender that was really helped my throat.
Is calming, like it's very calming. So
maybe that's what it is.
Like calm. With the spasming. Yeah.
That would make sense.
And then the other one I have is for like cold and flu support. So basically it is meant to increase sweating and help you kind of sweat out.
Okay.
Your sickness, whatever it is. So it's good. It's a good wintertime one. It doesn't taste amazing, but it tastes as good as I could make it.
Okay, can you do something about that and make it taste better?
I've done. It tastes as good as it's gonna get. Basically, it doesn't taste.
Put some honey in it. Yeah, I always find with tea if I don't like it, I put honey.
Honey's really soothing for the throat anyway. So if you are sick, it's gonna
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, people, you're starting to understand why I refer to Julie as the spiritual scientist, because where did you learn to like blend all these things together? Whether it be the teas or the lotions or the sprays.
Frankly, to be honest with you, like I guess everybody here kind of gets where we're coming from, but
yes.
So
and too bad if they don't.
I mean, I know this stuff, like it's in my DNA. Like it's I've been doing it for a kajillion lifetimes. That that's how I know, it just happens.
It's the reason all three relatives are doing the same thing, and great grandma used to read tea leaves.
Yeah, totally. But I'm enrolled in the Wild Rose College of Herbal Healing right now.
Oh, are you?
And I am going through one of their diploma programs.
Oh, very cool. for you.
I think it just gives me a little bit more credibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
not that you
this.
need it in my
No.
books, but
Yeah.
in other people's books, especially when you're at a market, people will see that kind of
Totally. Yeah.
certificate and go, "Oh, you
Yeah.
know what you're talking about," when
Yeah.
you knew what you were talking about
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Holy crap! Is it really 7:55? It
Mm-hmm.
is. Holy, where did the hour go? You've been spending it in the penalty box.
Yeah, I just keep getting kicked out.
That's funny. That was from your guys, not from me. They're
Yeah.
hilarious. That's funny.
They are pretty funny sometimes, yeah.
They are, or at least they think they are.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, find your products?
So everything, like all of my products and service bookings and stuff, can all be found on vintagesoulwellness.com. But you know what? If you live in the Calgary area, just message me on Facebook.
Yes. Oh, she disappeared again. Just when we were getting to the good part.
Yeah, I know, right? So on Facebook and Instagram, I am Vintage Soul Wellness. So you can basically just find me anywhere under Vintage Soul Wellness.
So again, Vintage Soul Wellness.
Yeah.
Messenger, if you're in the Calgary area, you can always connect and do it that way. If they happen to live across the country,
message me even if you live across the country, because shipping sucks. Yeah. And a lot of times I can figure out a better deal. My partner works at FedEx, so I can probably get a discount. So yeah, if you don't live in Calgary, message me, because I can probably do some.
So the easiest way is find the product online that she has, then message her. And but if you're in the Calgary area, you are at a lot of markets.
I'm at a ton of markets. I am always at markets. At least in the summertime, I try to do one at least once a month. In the wintertime, I'm going from November to December. Like I usually have about 8 weeks straight that I'm.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not so many this year, but you can usually find me at the Pagan Spirit events most of the time.
Yeah.
And then during the holiday season coming up, I will be at little community halls for the most. Like I'll be in my community. I'm going to Deep South. Like I do.
And you post all these on your.
I post it all on my socials.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way. Not only will you get to see everything she has, you'll be able to ask the questions that most people will need to ask. And then you get to see everything else that's at the expo as well. And that's always
when you get me talking about a product, though, I won't shut up. So
be prepared. And hopefully she won't disappear and you have to push a magic button to bring her back.
Yeah, right.
That would freak me out. Okay. Not too many things now freak me out. That would freak me out. Anyway, we are almost out of time. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure. Again, Vintage Well Soulness. If you want to get a hold
Vintage Soul Wellness.
I knew that. That's what I said. What is it again?
I don't know what you said.
I didn't say the right word.
No, you didn't.
I did not at all. You've heard it many times. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Armanda. Hello, Armanda. We're just finishing up here, Amanda. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to put you back in the for real this time. Don't go anywhere. I'll click over again.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Every week, it seems we get more and more people tuning in, which really makes me happy. If people remember when I first started this, it was just because I was bored and I decided to jump online and do online readings, and it grew from that into what you're seeing now. So, having said that, I believe, one more week. Next week we have a cool lady coming on, and her name is slipping me. Heather Tate. It came back to me. Thank you, guys. And she's going to talk pretty much the whole hour about near-life experiences, or near-death and near-life experiences, near-death experiences, which fascinate me. It absolutely fascinates me. So tune in next week. From then, I'm off for 2 weeks. We're going on holidays for 2 weeks, and then I'll be back October 3rd. If you are a practitioner and you want an opportunity to come on the show, send me a message on Kevali Channeling on Facebook, and we can chat about it. We are booking into October now, and it will fill up quickly, trust me. Also, if you want to get a reading from me, you can go to Kevali Channeling on Facebook. Take a look at the times I have available. If one of those times don't work for you, just message me. I'll make it work. I charge $75 for a 1 hour reading or $40 for a 30-minute reading. So until next week, thank you all so much. We will talk to